My name is Shrikant Moik and I'm going to talk about business processes in this video. So what is a business process? A business process is a flow of material, information or a knowledge. So let us take assembly process. In a car manufacturing company, there is a big assembly line where the car is manufactured over an assembly line. And that's a process because the material is flowing on it. There's also information which is flowing on it, right? So this is an example of a business process where you see a flow of material and information. There could be other business processes. So let us say software development business process. There's no material per se. There is some software which is getting obviously flowing, but there's a knowledge which also getting is flowing, and that's where this is also business process, right? So simplistically put, a business process is a set of activities and steps. So if you want to open an account in a bank, there are certain set of activities that a bank has to follow. The bank has to get you fill some form. They need to enter this form in the system. System has to generate account number, and it needs to create those accounts in the systems and so on. So it's a set of activities and steps which are involved in the business process. The business process could be tied to a functional area like say accounting or say HR, or it could be a cross-functional where it will move across uh, a function. Now, what does it really mean? Okay, so let us look at these examples, and that will make it more clear. So let us look at functional business processes. So assembling the product, right? So car assembly is a big example, but even if you talk about making these Parle-G biscuits, right? That is the assembly line. It starts with the raw material and ultimately ends uh, in a Parle-G biscuit. Uh, so this is entirely an assembly line, and this is an operation. This is all happens on the shop floor, right? Or a machine is getting produced in a manufacturing floor, a big manufacturing company. That's an assembly which is happening within the operations, right? Now we talk about marketing. Again, marketing has various business processes. Lead generation is one of the business process within market. So what does the lead generation would mean? Is that the marketing department has to look out who are the prospective customers, contact them and find the ones who would be more interested in buying this. And obviously then the sales department will take the lead and try to convert into customers. But the lead generation is a process which happens, is a set of activities which are happening within the market. Okay. Third comes accounting. So in accounting, again there are many business processes. Creating financial statements is one of the process within accounting, which will take all the accounting transactions for a period, maybe a quarter, maybe a month, quarter, or a year, and create financial statements like balance sheet or cash flow statement or profit or loss statement, right? So that's the process within accounting. Again, there are steps in it. Then it comes to HR department, you again have many processes. Hiring employees, the recruitment is a process which will again have sub steps in it, various steps about it. For HR to hire someone, the HR has to advertise on different job portals, get the resumes, screen the resumes, organize the interviews, and all that. So this is all happening within HR department. That's where it's called functional business process. However, what is interesting now is becoming more interesting or attracting more attention in business management per se is what we call the cross-functional business process. The prime example I would say is the order to cash. So, what is the order to cash business process? Let us see this diagram here. So, there's a sales function, business functions, which is generating orders, right? So, perhaps marketing is the one which has generated lead, but we'll talk about it later. But here is the sales function which is generating leads and submitting the order to the company, creating a kind of order in the company. Then the accounting will check the credit, right? We'll see whether we should be able to execute this order. What is the customer history? What is payment history from the customer reputation, and so on. And then approve credit. And only if it is approved, then it goes for the assembly. It goes to manufacturing department, manufacturing production function. It assembles the product and ship the product. And simultaneously, while shipping or after shipping, accounts will be sending the invoice. And the sales may be actually again involved to collect the payment. Okay. So this is just an example, and I'm sure this process could be happening a little differently in different companies. Even uh, manufacturing domain, there could be two competitors, and they may do a little differently this particular business process. But what happens in any business process? A set of activities, and on which either the material is flowing, or information is flowing, or knowledge is flowing, or all of these are kind of flowing, right? Then there is other business process like procure to pay. So procure to pay will start with some request coming from from the operations perhaps, which to buy something, or it could come from other departments like HR may ask for some stationery to buy, right? Then the purchase department has to go out and look for the vendors, put a request for quotations, receive the quotations, evaluate the quotation, find the right quotation, give an order to them, right, to the vendor. Then vendor will submit the order. Then ultimately the invoice again comes by from the so sorry the payment will be done by the accounts department. The receipt will be done by the concerned department, right? So again, it's a cross-functional business process, right? And again, it may happen a little different in different companies, but essentially it's a cross-functional. Then concept to launch. So concept to launch is something, there's a concept which a market department will come up, like product development activity, and then it will need to be manufactured and it need to be sold. So launching is basically selling, right? So there are multiple departments, multiple functions which are involved making it happen. Opportunity to order is where the marketing and sales are coordinating. So marketing will identify the opportunities, opportunities, and then generate leads and pass on to the sales department, and sales department convert it and to the order. Or if you say opportunity to cash, it is like opportunity to order first and then order to cash, and that's what opportunity to cash. You start with marketing, then sales, and then accounting. The accounting is involved, manufacturing is involved. All these functions involved. Why this is important is because the process may get actually slowed down because it is involved various functions. So each function is a silos in a sense. They are very separate things. They are not talking to each other, and the organization is really big. You really have a challenge to coordinate this business function uh, across the function business process across the functions, and that becomes really challenge. And that's where I guess we talk about this ERPs and those kind of software, enterprise system software, which will be across all the functions. So many times when people talk about improving businesses and business process reengineering and those kind of a thing, they're largely focusing on this cross-functional business process because the order to cash or opportunity to cash is like the core business functions and involves so many functions, core business process and involves so many functions. And it is very important that you uh, have a very optimum or very efficient and effective business process. So business processes are becoming more and more important nowadays, and you hear a lot about cross-business functional business processes, and hear about how to optimize them and how to make them more efficient and effective and so on and so forth. So that's all about business processes. And if you have any questions, you can connect with me later. Thank you.